And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to SQW21 Rasslemaniacs. My voice is gone. Every time I do that, I'm convinced I'm ruining my vocal cords. You that are just getting all that phlegm out. Yeah, you probably am.
Well, there was a point when Vince McMahon stopped doing that on it.
So. Maybe now we know why. Welcome, episode 21 of SQW. I am Dolly Domofsky. Dolly finally, let's see, name myself Dolly Available Domofsky because I'm finally available to do the podcast. Joining me is John Blackout Keogh.
Windswept, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that was a heck of a storm, boy.
JJ, current SQW champion, Nature Boy holder. Two-time.
Reigning, defending.
Officially now the longest, I think, title holder, right?
Maybe. Am I the longest reigning? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to.
We'll find out. You're gonna have it at least for a couple more weeks, so that's that's important. We got a bunch of news to talk about today. We're gearing up for Wrestlemania. We're gonna cover just a little bit of Fastlane, and then even some of the big stuff that's been happening, gearing up towards Wrestlemania, and some fun exploits that JJ's been on. So let's hop right into it. We're going to start with Fastlane. A lot of stuff happened during Fastlane. And all of this is leading into Wrestlemania. And for me, I could go right into the big event, which the big news for me was the whole Goldberg, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Leading. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a thing.
That was a thing.
That was a thing that we all pretty well figured was going to happen.
We witnessed it.
But I was holding on hope that maybe he'd keep that belt somehow. But oh well, that
there was no way going into it. You knew that if they had Goldberg do what he did to Brock Lesnar, there was no way Kevin Owens was going to get out any better.
Yeah.
Unless there was some sort of they kind of started it off right with him, dancing around the ring, not starting the match until.
Yeah, well, that's classic Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so,
yeah.
The timing was off on the whole thing, so it makes the referee look like an a-hole.
Yeah.
To me, it's just okay. We did it again. The third time we had this, quick Goldberg defeat where he kind of owns his opponent, and it worked great the first two times, against Brock in the Rumble, and now it just felt tired. It's like, okay, he was dominant because people were, I don't want to say they were, the way that WCW had built him up, he was they built him up as this monster, and the NWO feared him, and now it's just a game. It's just you can see right through it right now.
It went from like the fun nostalgia act to now it's just a nostalgia act. It stopped the fun part of it. It's like, okay, well,
right.
Well, the first Brock Goldberg match, I call it genius booking to have a match that short and the big surprise and do like a classic Goldberg squash.
They did a perfect swerve too by having it end well before the show was supposed to be over.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant from all sides on that particular thing. But
exactly.
Catch that lightning twice in a bottle. Like when that Kevin Owens match was announced, all three of us here knew exactly what was happening.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt in anyone's mind.
I think this time the issue comes down to that, Owens is someone that we all really kind of like, even though we boo him. And we know how long he's had, how hard he's worked, and how far he's come with the Jericho stuff, and this being the final payoff for not the final payoff, but the setup for that match with Jericho. I was hoping he would somehow keep it, whether Brock interfered or the Jericho thing backfired, or Jericho, cost Goldberg the match so that he could take the title from
You'd
Owens.
think he would want the title match, like screw over Owens.
Right. So like there was a lot of options to get more or less the same result, but then they went with the most obvious option. The first thing you thought of, yes, that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
And like I said, the timing of how it went down at the very end was off. So you have the match hadn't started yet. Jericho's music hit, distracted him. Then the bell rings. Like the bell should have rung first, then Jericho's music hits, but it didn't. Look that. So now it just makes it look like the referee's an a-hole that screwed over Kevin Owens, and like, why would you start the match right then when there's clearly happenings afoot?
Yeah, like, that's right.
It was poorly played out.
Poorly played out, yeah. But I mean, it's meant to set up now this WrestleMania match, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it's all pushed to the side. Let's just focus on Owen, Jericho, and Goldberg, Brock, and let them have at it. And maybe on the Monday after WrestleMania, Finn Balor beats the winner.
Do you really think Finn Balor is going to beat either Brock Lesnar or Goldberg on a Monday Night Raw?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, what's the other option? Roman Reigns, I suppose.
We have to be a little honest here, and Lesnar's going to be used again to give the rub to Roman Reigns. Like you don't have this match against the Undertaker, and they're pushing him hard. Like it's where it's leading to. I mean, at least right now. Plans can change, but right now that's obviously where I think it's heading towards right now.
And we can bounce onto Roman because he beat Braun clean at Fastlane, which was really kind of surprising when they could have done some kind of a schmaz finish just to save the momentum of Braun.
That was a bad booking decision on that. Yeah. Like I get that you're so you have him put over. You have Braun put him over. Clean finish after building Braun up for all this time. Just a clean 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Now he's going into the Undertaker, and God knows what they're going to do there.
Yeah. Like, no, I mean, I've heard the argument that they let Braun have a little bit of weakness there, just so that he doesn't get built up too much to some impossible expectation, and once he loses, he fizzes away. But I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit of a waste of Braun, and so Roman then goes on now to challenge the Undertaker, and he actually uttered, after he kind of told HBK to shut his old mouth, said he was going to retire the Undertaker. So he said the words, "I'm going to retire him." So. To me, that echoed someone wanting to beat the streak, right? And I'm like, wait a minute now, Roman. Just because you say you retire the Undertaker doesn't mean it's going to happen. It felt just like a streak challenge,
This is to me. This feels like this will be the. I'm starting to feel this is the last Undertaker WrestleMania match. I think he'll end up, defeating.
It's so
Roman
weird
Reigns.
that we're never gonna get that John Cena Undertaker WrestleMania match. Like
it's money on the table. It's money on the table.
It's weird.
Yep.
Because like next year, I mean, Undertaker looks worse and worse every time he comes out.
God, yeah.
So if you try to have one more WrestleMania match, he might have to come out in that Andre the Giant cart. Like,
oh jeez,
at this point, like.
Speaking of Andre the Giant, Big Show, his match with Shaq it looks like it's off, which is interesting because that and Shaq even came out and said that it wasn't his fault. He wanted to do it, but the WWE couldn't quite book. It fell apart at WWE's end, which means now that the Big Show is in the Andre the Giant
Battle Royal.
Yeah, that Battle Royal that's done nothing for nobody.
I got a feeling that's where if Braun doesn't get a one-on-one match or something, that's where he'll shine and probably win that thing to get his momentum back. But
that's what I always sort of felt like that was his destiny at WrestleMania this year. Like when they were talking about a big push for Braun, I always just sort of felt like that was really the direction they were. It doesn't go anywhere. Like everyone that's won that, it's not like anyone's had any sort of successful anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Cesaro,
the winner of that
Corbin,
#1 contender at SummerSlam or anything like that. There is no. It's like the All-Star game in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you used to get.
I saw somebody. I think it might have been Reddit or somebody, and they said it should just be like the Royal Rumble, but for one of the mid card titles.
There you go.
Yeah. Like you get a whatever brand you're on, you get your Intercontinental or United States title match.
Yep. Right.
Well, some weight.
I tell you about trophy. But about Braun, like a few weeks ago, the rumors were still that Braun was going to face Undertaker, and I mean, I know he's not ready for that, but I mean, just look how improved Braun has gotten, and since he's been since the brand split, and like imagine what he'll do next WrestleMania. Yeah. He'll probably be he could be in the main event next year.
Yeah, it's true.
Legit. I mean, he's improved that much.
They have faith in him, so that's a lot. That goes a long ways.
And he's getting it too. He's really getting it.
Yeah. He's taking the brass ring that they handed him and he's running with it. Like he's improving himself. He's doing his best to. He's not the best on the mic, but he's better than he's ever been. You know, like he's every week he's getting a little better. He's kipping up and things. You know.
And big splashes off the top rope. I mean, boy.
Yeah. So he's not going to let this opportunity go. He's not leaving it in. If it's up to him, he's not going to let it go away. Yeah. He's going to do everything he can to keep the opportunity, so it's out of his hands if something happens to it.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get hurt, he'll be huge by WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, yep. He could face off against Samoa Joe in WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, or
what's that?
Or against Brock or somebody like.
Or
they can start touting him as the next big thing at some point. Like
quite literally
the new next big thing, and have him go after Brock or something. It'd be half decent.
What's interesting right now is it is a really interesting time for the WWE over the last year. I mean, we talked about AJ Styles and Finn Balor last year in the Cruiserweight Classic, and they've had a great influx of talent over the last 12 to 18 months.
Oh my gosh,
that has been pretty incredible. I mean, we haven't seen it in a long time for the WWE. I mean, I think maybe the last time something like this happened was after they had bought WCW when people started to come over, and that was a big split. That was a big, big talent pool then. But now it seems like it's starting to you're getting guys that are potentially going to be in WWE and its several factions at several shows for a long time. I mean, these are a lot
of young guys.
These are going to be the folks that are the next big round of superstars. That if Cena and I guess you could call Brock and Goldberg and those guys of kind of the previous generation. Now this big group, AJ, Finn Balor. I think this new generation is really primed to do a lot of good things.
Did you guys watch SmackDown? Did anybody watch SmackDown?
Yes. Yep.
A little bit.
Can we talk about how stupid it was to have a camera in the car for Shane McMahon getting his head thrown in it?
Yep. Ooh, wasn't expecting that.
Was that on a replay or what? The camera in it?
Yeah. It didn't air that way, but like the replay was that way.
Oh god, that is stupid.
It was like when Dolph Ziggler kicked his logo in the green screen a few weeks ago too. Like,
oh, that's right.
They're doing this weird like camera trickery and stuff these days on SmackDown, and it's just it's not working. Like, that was a really stupid moment. It would have been a really cool moment, but then you have to say that there was a camera inside of the backseat of that car.
I mean, they could have played it off differently. They could have said something like, "Wait, there was a GoPro in the car. We got video from the GoPro. Let's pull it up and see what happened." And then you can maybe talk through it.
That takes away the spontaneity of that moment so much, boy.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
But yes, now AJ Styles. So you're talking about AJ Styles, but Daniel Bryan fired him. So
he got fired to go to the other brand.
He got fired after that. So.
Fire.
Yeah, his name is in the alumni section now, not the current superstar.
It's just brilliant.
There will be no AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
So I guess it'll be some kind of unsanctioned match at WrestleMania because he's not an employee.
They're gonna wrestle in jeans.
That's right. But that match, I mean, AJ versus Shane is not the match that I want to see. Like, the Wrestling Smart says, I would rather him in a more technical, showcase kind of match. But it's I was thinking about it after. It is a pretty big spot to be. Like, that'll be a heavily promoted match.
Yeah,
and it'll be late in the card.
It's for AJ, that is a very good spot for him. It may not be the most ideal wrestling match for AJ Styles, but he's gonna get it. First of all, it's showing that the company trusts him.
Yep.
Like, you're putting him in a match against the boss's son. That's a lot of faith in you. Like, it's putting him on. There's no way that match doesn't get promoted to hell. Like, it's going to be the focus of SmackDown at a point. Like, people are going to be super interested in just Shane McMahon's next match. It's a big deal, no matter what. So, it's a good spot for AJ.
It could be a third, third match from the top. I mean, really, in between the title match or whatever, something like that. I mean, it definitely could be one of the top 4 or 5 matches.
It'll be like SmackDown's co-main event kind of.
There you go. Yeah. There's a good possibility. Someone was joking around online, but there's a possibility this WrestleMania could be like 6 to 7 hours long. I mean, there's actual legitimate talk about this is going to be a 7-hour WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 actual, matches. Matches. You have the Battle Royale, and then you have the possible ones like the Rollins versus Triple H. Depending on what happens with the Rollins, you have SmackDown Tag Team Championship. You have Intercontinental Championship for Ambrose and Corbin, and you still have Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. Those guys are still out there. So what could happen there? Right?
You have New Day is doing their hosting thing. That's going to lead to some sort of something. There's going to be something in the ring, whether it be like the Rock thing last year, where it was a spontaneous match, or
and the Rock is also rumored to be back in this too.
Yeah, it's something more than ice cream, anyway.
Yeah. Somebody's going to wreck their little ice cream bike, and that's going to cause something at WrestleMania.
All I know is that I'm going to be extremely bummed because I'm not even going to be here to watch WrestleMania. I'm hoping that the cruise ship that I'm on will have...
watching the Cliff Notes version of WrestleMania.
There you go.
Yeah, I've been there, Down. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The match I'm most excited for right now is Neville versus Austin Aries.
Okay.
Yeah, that's looking pretty decent.
I don't know. That seems like that just seems like that'll just be a good wrestling match. Like that's. It's funny to me that Austin Aries is getting a WrestleMania match and like hard. Like it's he's 205 now. Like he went from NXT to 205 and now he's getting a WrestleMania match. Like
this WrestleMania, it really is a mania. I mean, it really is ginormous, and it does feel like they're going all out.
Yeah, I mean, well, and you have NXT just before that. They'll have a takeover event. You've got the Hall of Fame ceremony, which is like it's a big event.
It's a big weekend. You got the Raw after, and it's SmackDown. It's gonna go right into all that.
In terms of just for WrestleMania, you have 14 hours of. You kind of have to watch it wrestling that entire weekend, 4-day weekend or whatever. Like,
I'm glad they've gone this direction and made it a whole weekend event because it really does get back to what I remember of WrestleMania growing up, which was it was a giant event. Even though back then it was just one day, that it was like 3 to 4 hours, but it was a giant thing. Everybody talked about it. Everybody expected. Everybody watched. Going to this weekend type of thing. I mean, it's the all-star game of wrestling, I guess you could call it. It's the everybody who's anybody in wrestling and even in pop culture show up, and it becomes a full weekend of just, you don't have to leave your couch, and you have awesome, it's the wrestling, the wrestling you wanted to watch the whole year. So,
well, Dally, think about if you were actually in New Orleans. It's New Orleans.
Oh, God, yeah.
If you're actually there.
Is it Orlando or New Orleans?
Orlando this year. Orlando. You're correct. So in Orlando, all the indie feds are putting on shows in the Orlando area as well. Like you can see anybody who's everybody at any event or any of the conventions that are going on. Like and Jim Ross is having a live show and all kinds of stuff like that.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Name it. It's just a complete mecca
to be
of,
in that area, because it's also in the sort of like, tourism center of Florida too. So it's like you're surrounded by everything, and there's going to be nonstop wrestling that entire week. Like it's everybody that's anybody is going to have a show.
Yep. We have it's like a Super Bowl weekend, right? You have the and that's what happens we had the Super Bowl here in Detroit several years ago, and even though the game was on Sunday, we had stuff Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You could go out and do all kinds of stuff related to football back then, and same with wrestling. Yeah, man, that would be great to just see a lot of the indie shows and the all the other events that are related to that. God, it sounds like. Man, okay, so it's in Orlando. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm flying in on Sunday to Fort Lauderdale. No, I better not. I better
layover in Florida for
layover in Florida.
Yeah, I went to Wrestlemania 19, and like it was nowhere near this kind of
same as 18. Yeah.
It was. It grew so much in the following years after. Yeah. Those couple of shows. Once 20 hit is where they really started making it a like Super Bowl weekend.
Well, I actually know, because WrestleMania 23 was
Detroit,
and they didn't have a lot of stuff. They hardly had anything going on. It was just the one day.
They had an Access, but that was it. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't anywhere.
But I mean, I went to that one. I loved it, but there really wasn't anything going on. Not like it is now. Yeah. Obviously, again, you got to give kudos to the McMahons and WWE Network. That I think WWE Network has expanded. I mean, it was a brilliant move. It's made their brand kind of explode in ways that nobody figured. So, anyways, lots of WrestleMania stuff.
I was gonna say, speaking of online digital expansion,
let's do it.
Now, if you want to talk about possibly reaching out to a whole new group of people, is Lucha Underground seasons 1 and 2. Are on Netflix as of
yeah,
it's awesome. So, this is fantastic. Today. Yesterday or today? Yeah, either way, it's wonderful. I can finally watch the first 2 seasons of Lucha Underground. Get into it.
It's one of those things like if people who haven't watched wrestling, I have convinced to at least tune in. Like it's on Netflix. You have Netflix. Just check it out. It's easy to take in, and it's not like the wrestling that you saw in the 80s or 90s or whatever.
That
has an opportunity to really do something for non-WWE wrestling. Like they're in a good spot right there.
Yeah, it's this 1 hour bites of a completely alternative product than what you're used to, and
self-contained kind of wrestling is
that's a complete little bubble. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and in Canada here, it's never been available. In an easy way, at least. And but now I can just tell whoever I want, just check it out and give it a shot. So
absolutely. So I've been telling people, I know you don't watch wrestling, but it's on Netflix. Just watch it. Just watch a couple of episodes. You'll be kind of you will find it at nothing less intriguing, because it's so weird and offbeat.
Yeah.
So
it's a big deal. And Paul Heyman used to talk about how the two things he needed to make ECW a success was distribution and it was a creative or talent or whatever it was, but distribution was like of the two things. That was one of the things, and that has always been the problem. Now they got it.
Distributing tapes was a big deal with ECW early on, and it worked. Like, and I remember it was like the olden days too, where like a friend got an ECW pay-per-view through the mail, and I borrowed it, and kind of like that was a big deal. And this is kind of the extension of that. Now everyone has Netflix.
Yeah,
everyone's borrowing everyone's movies now. So
like back in ECW, it was getting on television, then it was getting on pay-per-view, like expanding that audience, and now finally, I mean, almost everybody has Netflix, and so go for it.
Lucha Underground has their market penetration is much higher than the WWE in terms of digital distribution.
That's true.
It is. It's amazing to think about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up Netflix right here and just see where it lands. Let's see where
I know we didn't bring it up on our little discussion beforehand, but I guess we do have to talk about the Hardys, right?
Yeah, actually, let's talk about the Hardys. Yeah, very interesting stuff happening here. Very interesting stuff with the Hardys.
So their contracts were up with Impact, and they wrapped up their term there, and immediately.
And it did not go. They did not go quietly into the night.
Did not. Yeah, it seemed like everything was all right, but the minute they were going to be at the 15th anniversary Ring of Honor pay-per-view, everything sort of fell apart for both sides a little bit. Impact or Anthem sent them a cease and desist for using the Broken Universe stuff. So I watched the Ring of Honor 15th anniversary thing, and it's like they were clearly in character, but they never referred to them as the characters. So be interesting to see how that plays out. Like, it's hard to tell if somebody's being just a jerk or if there's something to stand on their end, because until lawyers get involved fully, you're never going to.
I mean, creatively, I just don't know who else they might insert into the Broken Universe. And expect it to actually succeed. But I mean, I can understand that they could see that there's potential money to be made. Like it's a big thing, but I guess they have to figure. I guess time will tell what they decide to do with it. But it's Matt is the linchpin and all that. He kind of makes even more than Jeff. Matt makes it work.
Yeah, so that's that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. So they're Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions right now. That was a phenomenal show. If you get the opportunity to find it somewhere, Ring of Honor, the 15th anniversary show is really great to see, especially the main event. To watch Christopher Daniels. Hey, Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
To watch Christopher Daniels finally get his world title in Ring of Honor was exciting. It was heartwarming in its way.
Long time coming.
So back real quickly about Lucha Underground. All 39 episodes of season 1. There's a lot of wrestling, and all 26 episodes of season 2 are on there. So
a lot
of wrestling, but great stuff to watch in the background.
Yeah, that back half of season 1, once Aztec Warfare comes along, it's a real good watch.
Cool. It's fun to watch it build into be Lucha Underground. Like it starts off as Lucha Underground, but to watch it, what we know as Lucha Underground now, like by the second half of that season, is what Lucha Underground is.
Well, I mean, I watched the first episode today, over the course of the day, and the first match is Chavo Guerrero against Blue Demon, and it's it's a little bit of a tip of the hat to Lucha tradition and history, that match in itself. But it's a little bit of a rough match, right? It's it's okay, it's fine, but it's not exactly what Lucha Underground is known for, with the high speed and the aerial stuff. But it's once they get to the main event, the Mundo and Prince Puma match at the end, you get a sense of how this is going to go. Just a high rate of work.
Yeah.
It's
once they establish everything, get all the establishing of what this universe is.
Yeah.
That's when the gates open and everything.
Which is just so amazing.
There's a lot of vignettes, a lot of promo packages, and but it's all worthwhile to know the characters and understand what they're doing.
I like the way they present all of their promo packages and vignettes and stuff too. It all just feels so campy, and I love it.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's an interesting, again, I mean, it takes place in definitely south of the US, over in that Lucha. Wait a minute, what else?
No, it's in LA.
What else could take? Oh, it takes place in LA, right? LA is in the south. There is something has popped up today known as, I was trying to do just a horrible Southpaw Wrestling. Sorry about that, guys.
You took a real left turn there.
Yeah, literally went all the way around and didn't make it. Southpaw Wrestling, what is this?
No clue.
I saw the video first. JJ posted in our group chat, and I had no idea.
WWE posted on their Twitter account
Yeah.
this Friday. They've got something called Southpaw Wrestling, and it's completely in 100%
Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Regional Wrestling. And it's 110% presented as an 80s
public
territory
access
Southern wrestling show with all the wrestlers portraying that sort of 80s, like Rusev in a cowboy hat and like
John Cena is a Gordon Soley type.
He's a Gordon Soley type.
Yeah, like, and it's all like, you know, it's a poor film quality and all this stuff, and
it looks like a lot of fun.
The video, if that's all it was, like, if that's what that show is, if it's a show, if it's a thing that they're doing.
If it's a one-off, I'd love it. Even if it's a one-off, I think it'd be great.
Even if it's a one-off, if they just fully produced a one episode of a 80s Southern Territory wrestling show, I'd be so excited.
Oh yeah, this could be a fun.
It's one of those things that makes you think, like, they like, you see that and you're like, they get it. Somebody gets it.
Yes, exactly.
Somebody gets it. Yeah.
Someone gets it. Someone understands it, and I can see them doing it for all types of eras, right?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Is it going to be something that they're going to put on their YouTube channel, or is it going to be something on the network? Is it just going to be some one-off? Other than what that video is, it may not even be related to anything like that at all. It could just be like Edge and Christian season 3 or season 2 for all we know.
That's true. Other fun stuff. We have Fire Pro Wrestling coming back. We were just talking about this. On our gaming episode, even after the gaming episode, and now there is a new Fire Pro Wrestling game. It's coming to PlayStation 4, Windows PC. Spike Chunsoft is the publisher, and it's going to be on early access on Steam sometime soon. I forget. Sometime during the second quarter of 2017.
That game will be perfect for Steam. Like, what that franchise is with Steam Workshop.
I was gonna say Steam Workshop. Yeah,
nothing better than that. That's the best. That would be the best way to play that game, is on Steam.
Yep, and I was at PAX East this past weekend, and there was a wrestling game. I didn't get a chance to dive into to really take a good look at it, but it had a big crowd around it, another wrestling game, an indie wrestling game. So I'll figure out what this is and see what this game actually is. But there are more wrestling games, but Fire Pro is awesome. I'm excited for that. I'm hoping they'll bring something out for the Switch, because the Switch seems perfect for a Fire Pro Wrestling game. But PS4, I'll enjoy it. The PS4, I think it's fine.
Of course, now I'm in the frame of mind where everything seems perfect for the Switch. Like, but then I can just, I want to take this to work with me. So can you just
put it on the Switch
now?
Yep, we're all happy to switch over.
Can I get that on the Switch?
Can I get that on the Switch? Can I somehow figure out a way to stream it on there? One last thing, or a couple last things here. So JJ got to meet royalty. The reason I nicknamed him Nature Boy was because you had the opportunity to meet the one, the only Ric Flair. You posted a great photo of your new best friend,
my new best friend in the world.
Richard Flair.
We pretty much, we pretty much are just best friends these days.
Yeah, you and Nate.
That's that. Yeah, I'm allowed to call him Nate. You guys are.
I have to say his Twitter activity is fantastic. He's actually a really fun guy to follow. But tell us, so where did you meet him?
Just recently there was a comic convention in Seattle, and he was there on behalf of a wrestling comic book, Headlocked. And they brought him down there, and he had a booth set up there, and he was just hanging out, and hand him some money, he can get a photo and an autograph. I got my autograph.
Sweet.
But
how much did he charge?
Hold it up again. Hold it up again.
It's back.
There Very nice.
Awesome. Great job.
It was for a photo, in case you're curious, so you know exactly how much I spent on this. This is a photo and a autograph picture was $80.
That's actually a good price because
good price considering I was looking at some of the other celebrity guests that were there, and if it's like, you want a photo and a autograph of Vincent D'Onofrio? It's like, $110. Like,
They had I remember they have Motor City Comic Con over here in the Detroit area, and I went to pick up I had a media badge put aside for me, so I went to pick up a media badge Friday night, and they were still, the show had opened Friday, but there was nobody there. It was like during office work hours, so the celebrities just kind of hanging out, walking around, checking out the show, and hanging off to the side was a bunch of great late '80s wrestlers. I can't remember who it is now, but a bunch of awesome wrestlers just hanging out, talking to each other. And I walk up to them. I think Hitman Brett was there. I'm just all chatting with each other, and out in the blue. And I snapped a couple photos with them because they were there. They didn't want any money because they weren't technically in their booth.
Yeah, that's the best time to hit them up, I guess.
So yeah, it's the best place to meet wrestlers.
I don't want to wish ill will on Ric Flair, but he needs to be warned that he's now the 5th wrestler that I've met, and 3 of them have died. So it's.
Oh goodness, you are the kiss of death, JJ.
Yeah, I've met Roddy Piper, I've met the Ultimate Warrior, I've met Brian Adams, Brian Clark, and Ric Flair. So.
Oh goodness. Good luck to Rick. Good luck to Rick. One very last thing, before we sign off here, a couple quick last things. I recently found the, I don't know what led me to it, but the Jake the Snake Roberts promo that he did years ago with $10 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and he's trying to get the belt, the $1 million belt. Oh man. What a fun! I don't know what it was that spurred me to do that, but I did a search. Jake Snake Rob. Oh my god, that's an amazing promo that he did.
I just watched that today. My friend posted on Facebook how she her boyfriend is really into wrestling, and she doesn't understand why all wrestlers have to yell into a microphone. And I said, well, not all wrestlers yell. And I sent her that actual promo from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh, and Roberts just he pulls it off so well. It was. Me and Damien.
He made every promo back in his sort of heyday was just like unsettling.
Yes,
like,
yes.
You felt threatened, and he wasn't even mad at you.
It was so good. Finally, last bit. Hopefully we're up on iTunes as of this podcast when you're watching this or listening to this. We are set. We're uploading the episodes. We finally did it. It took like 11 months, but we're here 10 months, whatever, but we're there. Just in time for WrestleMania. If you're listening to this, we're posting the classic episodes as well, which means you can go and we're going to kind of intersperse them in between the new ones. So definitely listen to the old ones if you'd like to. It'll give you a little bit of background.
Listen to how wrong I've always been about pay-per-view.
You can laugh at us for our predictions, and we'll go from there. But so we're good. Please rate and review us on iTunes, on Google. Everybody do that, but do it. It's great. It'll get us some visibility. I do have to say, at PAX East this past weekend in Boston, I was talking about this podcast, and there are a lot of folks that want to be on it. So I'll organize with the gentleman here. There's a lot of guests, a lot of wrestling aficionados that are excited to be would love to be guests on the show. So I think that we'll be planning something out here and getting some really cool folks on here. But until then, we really thank you guys and gals and kids and any pets that may be watching for watching us, listening to us, rating and reviewing us, commenting all the time. It's great.
As the SQW historian, I'm letting everyone know that I'm putting together quite a WrestleMania special for us. So,
yes, which could potentially be next week.
If you ever needed to know anything about WrestleMania, you're going to know something about WrestleMania coming out in the next. It's probably going to be 2 parts.
Yeah, probably a 2-parter. Probably next week we'll get the first part, and the week after that, the week. I guess that's going to be the week before WrestleMania. Good. We are catching up, gentlemen. Woo!
Boy, I don't know how I'm going to watch them all before the special, but anyway.
I might have to have you guys record a podcast while I'm out on my boat, but on the boat. But we'll see. Either way, you can find us at SQW Podcast on the Twitters. That's our channel name on YouTube. You can find me individually at Dolly Domofsky. Where can we find you, Champ?
At the double J, the _double_J.
And John?
I am at John Kehoe, JONKEHOE. I will reply to you.
Yes, we do a great job of replying. And again, follow the SQW Podcast Twitter account because we've been getting some great conversations going on there, and that's people have been sending us some awesome stuff that we've been retweeting as well. And maybe we'll do a giveaway. I think we can. I found a bunch of old WWE, WCW cards that I might put up as a giveaway on the SQW account. So be ready for that. Be ready for that. Anyways, thank you everybody. We'll see you on the next SQW.
Don't do it that way.